Welcome to Tabletop Battle Adventures D-Day 0930 hours Turn 19. This will be the introduction video for this turn. Carentan in German hands, held by the 6th Fallschirmjäger, 1 platoon. Major von der Heit, commander, 6th Fallschirmjäger, positioned in the tower of the headquarters. Above him is his radio operator. Medium mortar, courtyard. Second floor of this building, behind the window. Medium machine gun team. A forward observer radio operator moving through the rubble. By the way, these are all 6 Fallschirmjäger units in this area. 3rd section LMG team, attic of this building. Second floor of this building, sniper, Sergeant Neiman. Panzerschreck team and 3rd section LMG team. These 2 bridges leading into Carentan are main objectives for the Germans. They need to defend them and destroy them only if the U.S. armor arrives before the German armor. The German armor reinforcements arrive in Carentan. 1 company from Panzer Lehr Division, turn 24. And the 506th PIR, their objective, that's for the U.S. forces, is to destroy the bridges before the German armor reinforcements can make it from the far side of Carentan, over the bridges, counterattacking over the top of the 506th, and all the way to push the U.S. forces back into the ocean. 2 soldiers from 3rd section with rifles positioned here. 3rd section assistant leader, center screen. 3rd section leader and 6th Fallschirmjäger platoon sergeant. On the other side of this bridge, 1st section's leader, 1st section LMG team, 1st section soldiers with assault rifles, Panzerfausts. The other half of 1st section moved forward to reinforce the 1058 Grenadiers. And there's 1 soldier here, 1st section soldier, 1st section assistant leader here, and the LMG team was knocked out this past turn. There is the 506 platoon commander, Captain Carey, called an airstrike on this location. We'll address that before we get to the first dice of this turn. The last soldier from 1st section of the 6th Fallschirmjäger detached from the squad over here early in the fight and joined Sergeant Ronald's half-track after all of his crew were killed in an ambush that took place earlier in the fight. Defending the other bridge, 2nd section, 6th Fallschirmjäger. The leaders in the center. 2nd section's LMG team behind the walls. And close to the river lock is 2 soldiers from 2nd section with assault rifles and Panzerfausts. The river lock is the objective here in center screen. It's been open in German hands the entire battle. It flows this way under the destroyed bridge and is flooding these green fields. Infantry advance only and no vehicles. river lock can be turned, or it can be closed, and it just takes D3+1 turns for the green fields to become regular movement. 6th Fallschirmjäger's platoon leader, First Lieutenant Reese, here in the wheat with his messenger and attack dog. This medic from the 506 advanced from this hedgerow, shot dead one of the 1058 Grenadiers. I believe his 1st section soldier. Epic. Now he's in a bad spot. 6th Fallschirmjäger's medic positioned here. In the attic of this building is 6th Fallschirmjäger's 2nd section LMG team. I already mentioned Sergeant Ronald's half-track from the 100th Panzer. Over this way, 100th Panzer's platoon leader, First Lieutenant Eulander, is Puma, and the soldier in the hedgerow next to him is 1058 Grenadiers, 1st section leader. 1058th Grenadiers doesn't have very many soldiers left. Go over and look at the Germans' right flank. The Germans and the U.S. forces can destroy these bridges when they need to, using artillery strikes, airstrikes, explosives. You'll notice the brown D6s for the Germans. Those are grenades held by the soldiers. And then you'll see green D6s. That is the grenades held by the U.S. soldiers. If someone's killed, their grenades stay next to their body until picked up and used. Alright, German's right flank. 6th Fallschirmjäger is sending reinforcements over to this right flank where the 1058 Grenadiers have been wiped out, plus a few 6th Fallschirmjäger soldiers that reinforced earlier in the fight. They're getting some help over here. The flamethrower team in the front, 2 soldiers from 3rd section with rifles and Panzerfausts. 6 Fallschirmjäger's 3 forward observer soldiers here. Starting on ambush. By the way, the sniper for the 6th Fallschirmjäger I mentioned in the building center screen is starting on ambush. Oh, and Major Vanderheit, forgot about him too. He'll be starting on ambush. Another soldier starting on ambush is 1058 Grenadiers 3rd section assistant leader. Also, there's a 1058 3rd section LMG team on the balcony. And we'll take a look inside of the 1058's headquarters. The 1058's platoon commander, 1st Lieutenant Kreutner, will start on ambush with his radio operator. Also starting on ambush is the sniper for the 1058, and his position is not hidden. His position is known. The 6th Fallschirmjäger sniper is hidden. And also positioned in the building is the 1058 3rd section LMG team. That's all the survivors here in the hedgerows for the Germans. But they do hold all of the objectives: Riverlock, bridges, Carentan itself. As of turn 18, 0900 hours, the 1058 Grenadiers have taken 27 KIA. The 100th Panzer has only had one of their armored vehicles, Sergeant Gerald's half-track, knocked out. The other 2 armored vehicles are intact. 6th Fallschirmjäger has only lost 6 soldiers KIA. Now we'll go over the 506, who's also taken heavy losses. 506 left flank, they've got a 1st squad LMG team that's just moved here into this position where they have line of sight on these 6 Fallschirmjäger soldiers here. 1st squad assistant leader, 2 soldiers left for the 2nd MMG team. Platoon leader, 1st Lieutenant Corey, he's in position now. He is hidden. I think some soldiers are hidden in the hedgerow, some aren't. Once they fire, they're not. He has line of sight on the bridge, so he'll be able to call in fire on that bridge. And then the 57mm AT guns, and they're in trouble. They've got 4 pins, 1 wounded soldier. And in the center, we've got a 2nd Squad soldier with a BAR. Sergeant Caleb the sniper starting on ambush, who is no longer hidden. And the 2nd Squad LMG team center screen. None of these soldiers are hidden. No, I take that back. I think the BAR soldier is hidden. But the Sergeant Caleb sniper and the LMG team are not hidden. I guess you could include the medic in the center and maybe 3rd Squad Assistant Leader Sergeant Brandon center screen. Maybe we could include the 2nd Bazooka Gunner center screen, who is not hidden. He took a shot at Sergeant Ronald's half-track this past turn and missed. So he's definitely not hidden. We'll go over, and on the way over to take a look at the 506th right flank. Providing cover fire, we have the medium mortar. Good position here. Hedgerows block line of sight, unless they're along a wall. Then they do not block line of sight. So this mortar has a radio. Light mortar has a radio. And that's how they're able to receive orders from 3 soldiers with radios. Let me rewind over this way. We've got 1st Lieutenant Corey's radio operator. And then over this way, we've got commander of the 506, Colonel Sink. He has a radio operator. And then platoon commander, Captain Carey, has a radio operator. And that brings us, also the M5 3-inch AT gun is, they're taking some sniper fire, but they did just take out that position there last turn. Over to this right flank. I already mentioned Captain Carey, and then we have 2nd Squad Leader Sergeant Braden starting on ambush. Then we have 2nd Squad LMG team, 3rd Squad LMG loader still in the fight, flamethrower team, 3rd Squad soldier with a BAR, and a 2nd Squad soldier with rifle. That airstrike's coming in here though, possibly, so that could really clear the way. Still have to get past these last 6 Fallschirmjäger defenders, but at this point we could call in airstrikes and artillery strikes, since this soldier here, Captain Carey, has line of sight on this bridge, calling in support. So does Colonel Sink. And that's all the 506th soldiers still in the fight here. And as of last 0900 hours, last turn, the 506th has 35 KIA. It's pretty bad. It's about almost 50% casualties. Plus the M8 Greyhound scout car was knocked out, also Sergeant Travis. And we'll go over and take a look at Omaha Beach. The Germans have been devastated. This is the right flank. The 916th Grenadiers 1st and 2nd Platoon are there. They should have ran away already. This is the 2nd section leader. He is the only survivor that is on the far right flank. This was the 1st Platoon, or 2nd Platoon Commander's radio operator, who fled after the 1st Lieutenant was exploded inside of this building, which I'll take the moment to, so every building has damage points. This one's at -9. Since it's a bunker, it can take 12 damage. So when this takes 3 more damage, it will be destroyed and crumble upon the soldiers occupying it, which is a GRB 39 anti-tank grenade launcher. And the 5 represents they're firing on the flamethrower team for the 116th Infantry 1st Squad center screen. So that's it for this far right flank of the 916th. They are very close to being broken. There's a 1st Platoon, 916th 1st Platoon flamethrower team still in the fight. 2nd Platoon, 2nd Section LMG gunner. That same section has 2 wounded soldiers and a medic working on those wounded soldiers. And inside of the bunker, starting on ambush, is the 2nd Platoon commander and his messenger and radio operator. 1st Section's LMG team. 3 soldiers from 1st Section. One of them is the 1st Section assistant leader, all with assault rifles and 2 with Panzerfausts. Running from the back of this bunker under this road to this bunker, there's a tunnel. And running from the end of this trench over into this destroyed hotel is another tunnel under the road. So that was it. This right flank is done for. All these GIs need to do is get through these barbed wire entanglements. There's 3 rows. This is the 1st soldier here from the 116th 3rd Section assistant leader. Oh, actually, it was the BAR soldier that snipped the wire. So that's 1 break in the barbed wire there. And there's a few other soldiers this turn that are going to be able to have a chance to cut through the barbed wire. But there you can see the 2nd row of barbed wire running all the way across the road. Along the road, I should say. And then there's a 3rd strand of barbed wire to get through. Oh, and even there's a 4th layer. Where would that be? That's 3rd layer. Inside of this bunker is an 88mm. He's done some damage. He's knocked out 2 tanks. 743rd Tank Battalion Company A's Company Commander's tank, and then a 2nd Platoon tank. This bunker here, there's on the roof, somehow has survived. This is 2nd Platoon 1st Section soldier with assault rifle, and inside there's an LMG team from his section and the 1st Section leader. Starting on ambush in this bunker. First Platoon's sniper. There's also 1st Platoon's 2nd Section leader and 1st Platoon's MMG team. 2nd Platoon's MMG team, starting with a few pins. Looks like just 1, but there's only 1 soldier remaining, just a gunner. Down in front of him, 1st Platoon has 3 soldiers with submachine guns. See, so many dead Germans. And there's 2nd Platoon's sergeant still alive. And down on the lower level, 2nd Platoon 3rd Section leader and 3 soldiers from 1st Platoon. So everybody's kind of jumbled and mixed up. Inside of here, the Pack 40's been destroyed. And we've got a 1st Platoon flamethrower team and the 2 survivors from the Pack 40 crew. As you can see, the Germans are going to lose. They were always going to lose. But they have done quite a bit of damage. However, the 916th Grenadiers defending 1st Platoon has lost 29 soldiers KIA. And 2nd Platoon has lost 25 soldiers KIA. So the end is coming. Let's go over and take a look at the attackers. Starting from the left flank, the 116th Infantry, Company A, 1st Platoon. You can see they've got their medium machine gun, heavy machine gun with a platoon guide. The 88 millimeter hit this group of soldiers here, killing 3 of them. Could have been worse. Platoon leader, 116th Infantry platoon leader, is going to start on ambush. Oh, did I mention these guys? Yeah, I mentioned the Germans starting on ambush. So right next to the platoon leader, there's the 116th. So I'm gonna talk about all the positions of the 116th first. There's this 3rd Squad bazooka team, 3rd Squad leader at the barbed wire ready to make a cut. 3rd Squad BAR soldier clipped the barbed wire last turn, and 3rd Squad assistant leader moved through. These 3 3rd Squad soldiers are catching up. And the 116th sniper, one of them will start on ambush here. 2nd Squad starts in this position. 2nd Squad leader at the barbed wire. He's like 2nd Squad assistant leader is too. The 116th forward observer, the radio operator. The other 116th sniper is going to start an ambush. There's the 2nd Squad flamethrower team, 1st Squad assistant leader, the platoon sergeant with a messenger and radio operator. And then just reaching the draw, the 116th has their 1st Squad BAR soldier in position to clip the barbed wire. Also 1st Squad leader ready to clip the barbed wire. Looks like the barbed wire has tangled him, but he's actually just standing there. 1st Squad's flamethrower team, and then it looks like 1st Squad's bazooka team ready to make their move through. And that's the one. Oh, and these 2 116 soldiers here that were trying to save their buddy, but he bled out. And that's the whole 116th. This is where the Rangers, 2nd Rangers, Company C, 1st and 2nd platoon start with their heavy machine gun, their mortar. This will be all 2nd Rangers positions now. The company commander, radio operator, and a messenger. 2nd Rangers. This is the 2nd platoon sergeant, 2nd platoon leader, or 2nd platoon, 2nd squad leader. 2nd platoon, 2nd squad assistant leader, and 2 soldiers. 2nd squad platoon commander, 1st lieutenant, and his radio operator. And behind them is the 2nd squad flamethrower team. And this is this Ranger sniper will start on ambush. 2nd squad assistant leader and a rifleman moving forward. And this is 2nd squad, 2 soldiers remaining for this MMG team. And then 2nd platoon, 1st squad is the fully painted LMG team. This would be 1st squad's leader with 1 soldier, and then the other 3 in the front are the assistant leader and 2 more riflemen. The other part of that 2nd platoon, 1st squad is over here with the other 1st squad assistant leader, a BAR soldier, and 2 more riflemen. Kind of got mixed up trying to find a way to move up the beach. Now we're over to 1st platoon. So these 3 soldiers, 1st platoon, the assistant leader from 2nd squad, and 2 soldiers. And that would be their LMG team from 2nd squad. This is all 1st platoon now of the Rangers. 2nd squad assistant leader and a BAR soldier out in front. 2nd squad leader and 1 soldier. 2nd squad's bazooka team. The Rangers medic moving over to work on some wounded soldiers. The other Ranger sniper, if this is 1st platoon sniper, will start on ambush. The 1st sniper I mentioned here was from 2nd platoon sniper. Rangers 1st platoon sergeant just saved the company 1st sergeant. Still another wounded soldier down, but there's a 1st platoon, 1st squad assistant leader, and a LMG gunner working on this wounded soldier. First platoon, first squad leader, and 2 soldiers, one of which is the assistant squad leader. I believe he just got saved this past turn. And then on the far right flank is the first platoon commander, the first lieutenant, and his radio operator working on the other wounded soldier. And then for the 743rd Tank Battalion, they did make a gap through the beach obstacles using the M4 Sherman with the dozer blade. And he's in position now to push these other obstacles out of the way. I'm thinking of just having him push straight forward and then turn, and then push the obstacles basically straight down between these this first platoon tank and this second platoon tank, so these tanks can start moving right up the draw. The objective, before I get to the 743rd's positions, so the objective for these Germans is to hold off the U.S. forces as long as they can and to inflict as many casualties as they can. And at this point, they can flee the battlefield by moving off the far side of the table, but I think we're just going to fight to the last man, inflict as much damage as we can. And for the U.S. forces, the objective is to get to the road. Once they get to this road or kill all the German forces, then they will be able to move on to one of these 2 roads. And I was thinking either roll off 1, 2, evens this front road, odds the road in the distance there. Maybe we'll let them choose. Think about it. Got a little bit of time. Basically, the road, defend the road for the Germans, and to reach the road for the U.S. forces. And following the M4 with the dozer, and the 916th Grenadiers, actually the dead first platoon commander who got just blown up, he called in a artillery strike on this position. So I think first we addressed the 506th airstrike over in the hedgerows, and then the 916th artillery strike here. See how that goes. Following this tank is the M4 Sherman Crocodile flamethrower tank. This tank's the one who was responsible for destroying the PaK-40. It was amazing. And probably the MVP for the 743rd Tank Battalion is the 2nd Platoon tank, the T-34 Calliope. The rockets on top is absolutely ridiculous. I think it's probably killed the most Germans here, the defenders. It also destroyed the hotel building, killed, I think, 12 or 13 Germans in that one barrage. Definitely recommend bringing it to all fights. It's epic. The 1st platoon leader, positioned right next to the God tank. 2nd platoon leader here in the Jacksons, immobilized. Another 1st platoon tank. 2nd platoon. And the other 2nd platoon tank knocked out by the 88 millimeter early in the fight. This is the company 1st sergeant, who's now the acting commander. I wonder if that would be true, the company 1st sergeant, or would it be one of 2nd platoon leader or 1st platoon leader? I'll have to do some research. But the company 1st sergeant is still in the fight. The company commander was knocked out too by the 88. It's been a heck of a great fight. And go over here on the beach, the casualties have been, for the 116th Infantry, as of last turn, the end of last turn, 21 KIA for the 116th. The 2nd Rangers 1st Platoon, which is the platoon on the far right flank, they've taken 5 KIA. And then 2nd Platoon has no KIA. And the 743rd, I already mentioned the 2 tanks that were knocked out. So very light losses. The 116th taking this, they were coming in on this barrage front here. So it kind of makes sense that they took the most losses, facing the 88. And so in total, between the 2 battlefields, Carentan and the hedgerows and Omaha Beach, Germans have lost 87 KIA and 1 vehicle destroyed. And the U.S. forces have 61 KIA and 3 vehicles destroyed. pretty good fight. But the Germans hold all the objectives. As for saves, the U.S. forces combined have 5 saves, 4 of which have been by the 1st platoon of the 2nd Rangers, or 2nd Rangers, 1st platoon. And the Germans have saved 2, which were both by the 916th 2nd platoon. And for dice still in the bag, we're gonna have 5 U.S. units starting on ambush here on Omaha Beach and 2 Germans. I already mentioned them. And over in the hedgerows, we have 6 German, actually 5 Germans starting on ambush, and 2 U.S. So opposite. Yeah. So 7 for each for the U.S. and 7 for the Germans starting on ambush. And there'll be 49 German order dice in the bag and 74 U.S. order dice in the bag. So in total, 81 order dice still for the U.S. forces. They started with 100, so 19 units destroyed in this fight. And the Germans have 56 order dice in total still in the fight, and they started with 77. So the Germans have lost 21 order dice, and the U.S. 19. First dice, 0930 hours, turn 19, the U.S. But first we'll have to address the 506th airstrike and the 916th Grenadiers artillery strike. And after those have been taken care of, we'll have ambush roll-offs where any soldiers on ambush will have a chance to interrupt that first dice. Well, made it through the introduction. And it'll be about 3 nights and I'll get to this beginning of the turn. And it's a 12 by 5 table over here. And Omaha Beach table is a 7 by 5. Thanks for watching.